Welcome to Community Cocktails with Kimberly, hosted by Kimberly Woodard, a realtor for more than 18 years with Ebby Halliday Realtors. She has received numerous awards, including Multi-Million-Dollar Producer, quarterly and annual company-wide honor roll recognition, VIP Customer Service Award for highest client ratings, D Magazine's Best Realtor, 5-Star Professional Award, and several other recognitions for her success and service to clients. Join her each week as she meets with the top community influencers to help you get to know the area you want to call home. Don't just love your home, love your community. And now, here's your host, Kimberly Woodard.
Good afternoon, guests. I am so excited about my guest today on my show. I have Kellie Rasberry from the Kidd Kraddick Show. And thank you, Kellie, for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I'm so excited to have you and tickled to death. And I thought we'd talk about just you.
Me. My favorite subject.
So you've been in the business. You are a veteran. 25 years.
Well, I've been in Dallas 25 years. I actually started when I was 19.
Wow.
And I was in the business for a while. I did local radio in Florence, South Carolina.
Yes.
And a friend of mine who was just really passionate about radio was always following the trades and saw this job opportunity in Dallas and said, you really need to apply for it. But I was like, why do I want to go to Dallas? What's in Dallas? All my friends and family were in South Carolina.
Right.
And he basically made me apply for this job, and I got it. So, yeah, my 25th anniversary on KISS FM in Dallas is May 31st.
Oh, just a couple days?
Yep.
Wow.
My 25th anniversary. And Boss Man George, we were talking about it about a year ago. I said, next year's the big 25. I said, I either want a bonus or I want a party or both.
I think both.
Well, I told him ultimately, I said, I'd really rather have the party because, yeah, you can make money. I'll make more money.
Right.
But I want the memories.
Yeah.
In the end, it's not the stuff; it's the memories. So I want to create some really fun memories from my 25th anniversary. So he's throwing a party for me Friday night.
Oh, fun! And you kind of go back because, can you believe? 25 years ago, could you imagine this is where you'd be?
No, I've never had. When Kidd Kraddick was interviewing me for the job, he said, well, where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the typical job application interview questions. I said, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just kind of roll with stuff and see what happens. I didn't have a life plan. I just, I knew that I enjoyed radio.
Right.
I didn't know that it could ever be a full-time career because in South Carolina, I was working 3 part-time jobs, one of them being radio.
Right.
And then when I moved to Dallas, I was he hired me. I was already looking for second jobs. I was looking for waitressing jobs, and he said, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
So because I've never just worked radio. I always thought I have to have other income. I didn't think I could support myself. I didn't quite grasp that this was a real gig and a real big deal. So, yeah, I never had to get that part-time job.
Well, that's fortunate, too.
Yeah.
And so just one question is that I was going back, and you actually wanted to be an actress.
I did. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be first a school teacher, and then I actually sat in and observed a high school English class. I was like, why would I ever want to do this? They're little monsters, which I was one, so I can say that. But I wanted to be a sitcom actress. That was my dream. Those little 30-minute episodes.
Yeah.
I loved watching sitcoms, and I wanted to be a part of that. And so being in Florence, South Carolina, what do? I didn't know what to do. So I went through the Yellow Pages. There used to be a thing.
Yes.
And I looked for acting classes in Florence, and the only thing that was offered was at this school of modeling. Valdati School of Modeling had an acting course. And so I signed up for that and went to a talent convention where they would have it at Myrtle Beach.
Right.
I'm naming these cities like you all know what I'm talking about.
A lot of us, we're such a transit community, so we have people that are all over here.
Yeah, so Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is pretty popular. Most people know that if they don't know Florence. But there was a talent convention where they brought in agents from New York and LA and Atlanta. And I thought I was going to be discovered, but actually the owner of a radio station said, I think you'd be really great at radio. And he was right.
Yes.
So apparently that's what I was meant to
that's
do.
Your destination.
Because I've been doing it ever since.
And that's great. And so when you were in South Carolina, you said you had 3 gigs. You were radio, news?
Well, I did.
Weather?
My parents have always owned small businesses. So my dad had a shoe store for a long time, and then he had a Western wear business called Go West. So I was working at Go West at the time. I would do the radio show in the morning. I would go straight to college. I was also a student. I would go to college, and then afterwards I would go manage my parents' Western wear store during the week. And on the weekends, I did the local weather on the CBS affiliate there. They just needed somebody to do it. And I was like, well, I'll do it. I didn't know what I was doing, and I would just basically memorize whatever. When I used to have a good memory and I could memorize things, I would just memorize stuff and stand in front of a map and point, and got away with it for a while.
Well, then you came here.
And then I came
all
here.
Changed.
Yeah. I was actually about to, the TV station I worked for in Florence said, because they liked my personality, they said, but you also need to know what you're talking about. Right. And they told me if I would go get my meteorological license, which is a hard word to say with a hangover, but meteorological license, that they would reimburse me for that. And I was in the process of getting ready to sign up to become a meteorologist. When I got this job.
Oh, wow.
So there's a dream dashed.
Well, I think you've made yourself very successful, and you just won an award. Just recently.
Yeah, last week I was out in LA, and I won a Gracie Award, Women in Media Alliance, I believe is the full title. Every year they give out awards to women who have, done really great things. Right. Like they were having women who were exposing, the sex slave industry and things like that. And then me, I was like, I love Britney Spears and I talk on the radio. So there's women doing really great things too.
But you've been such an influence in the community with being a veteran, 25 years. I mean, I remember, I've always grown up, listening to the Kidd Kraddick show. And so it's, and a lot of people will say that, they remember it on the radio, driving, to school, driving, their parents would have it on.
Right.
So it's just been such a local icon in our community, and you are part of that.
Thank you. When I do talk on the radio, we're silly for a living, but then I hear from people now who say, I used to be in the back seat with my mom driving us to school, and now here's my daughter, and we listen to you. Yes. And it doesn't make me feel old. I mean, a lot of people be like, oh, don't remind me I'm old. That makes me feel just really blessed, because I'm a part of their memories from childhood, and now they're creating new memories with their kids. And that's a beautiful thing, to be a part of somebody's memories. And I also hear from people, when I think I'm just talking on the radio, it's not that big of a deal. I was just at an event about a week ago, and a woman came up to me, and immediately just the tears started falling, and they're splashing on her clothes.
Right.
And she said, I just want to tell you that my mother died last year, and we listen to your show every day. We would talk about, did you hear what Kelly said? Did you hear what Big Al said? And she just wanted to know, her mother was sick. Aww. And she said, but we could listen to your show, and it, let us forget about the bad stuff. And when I hear from people like that we do make a difference,
even if it's just household.
Even if it's just helping them forget the crappy stuff that's going on for a little bit every day. So I feel like we are, doing some good, hopefully.
Oh, you are. And it's, when you said about touching, people and, being part of their family network is what you are. And that's the same with myself. I mean, I sold the parents' houses, and now their kids are grown up, and now I'm selling the kids' houses. And I remember the kids, young. I don't feel old. Well, sometimes I do. But then, because I remember them at a certain age. But it's great because I'm part of the family network, and it's just, you're part of their community, and it's just a warm fuzzy, so you forget the age thing.
Well, every once in a while it bites you.
So, well, let's talk about life itself. You're a working mom, and so you are juggling, like a lot of us out there, juggling raising a family as well as doing a career and making a marker, and it is a juggling balance. How do you do it?
Not always great. I'm not going to sit here and say I've got it all figured out, because it's hard and screw up a lot. And there are a lot of times I have to apologize to my kid and say, I'm really sorry.
Right.
I'm a human being and this just didn't work out and I screwed up and I'm sorry. But that's, I think it's important for kids to see that, we're not perfect all the time, and things do get messed up, and sometimes everybody's disappointed. Nobody wins.
Right. Well, and that's, I think that's what has been talked about is, we went from the society where everyone is a winner, and there was no wrong, everything was, perfect, and I think it's better, I want my kids, I've got 2 boys myself, and them to see accomplishments as well as failures. Maybe you don't get that, but you try it. You still try if you really want it, and see if you can get it. Right. And I did that with my older son when he was applying to high schools. I was like, apply to all of them. Worst case, you don't get into one of them, or best case, you get into 3, and you can choose.
Yeah, so, it's a good problem to have. Choices.
So no. But juggling, so Emma is 12.
My daughter is 12, and Emma Kelly, and she's just finished 6th grade. She's excited about 7th grade, but we're having a lot of fun with that age. Some days are better than others.
I can relate. I have a little boy that's about to finish 6th grade this week.
Puberty's fun.
Yes.
But my husband, we will be celebrating our 2-year wedding anniversary July 1st. So with him, thank you. I now have a 14-year-old daughter and a son that just turned 11, and our youngest is 6. So that's been different, having, going from 1 to 4.
Definitely.
I remember, after being married just a couple weeks, being in the laundry room of my house almost in tears because I went from doing laundry for, just the 2 of us, which is nothing, to being in the laundry room. I was about on my 8th load that day, just about to cry. I'm like, I don't think I can do this. This is awful. But, you figure it out eventually.
Right.
But, yeah, it's been an adjustment. 4 kids, 4 different interests.
Right.
You got soccer, baseball, tennis, volleyball. We just divide and conquer.
Right. That's
every weekend.
Yeah.
And I can't be at everybody's game, and we just they have to understand that. There's only 2 of us and 4 of them.
Right.
So we make it work somehow.
But I mean, it was probably just a shock, even especially for Emma, not being the only child, and now all of a sudden. She's got 3 other siblings.
Yeah, compromising has been, it's not easy for a child who's basically been raised as an only child. She does have older siblings that are in their early 20s.
Yeah.
But she was basically raised as an only child. So to now have to not always get your way and have to share, she had to figure that out a little later than most kids. Yeah. But they love each other, and she's so excited to have siblings close to her own age. So that's been great.
And that's nice with the age ranges that she's got. As an older sister that she can kind of look up to,
and they fight. I mean, they fight like sisters.
Oh, yeah.
There's door slamming and leave my stuff alone and don't let her go in my room when I'm not here. That kind of stuff. But that's drama. And then the next minute they're braiding each other's hair. But having little brothers has been fun for her too.
Oh yeah, it's definitely, boys are definitely a whole other ballgame.
Yeah, it's different.
So I, being a boy mom, it is it's a different, always there's a video where they have the boy mom just ragged, running around, and then they have, chasing the little boy, and then they have a picture of the little girl the same age, and they're like dancing and skipping around and stuff. I'm like, that one running around was me.
Yeah, right.
So no, it is always, it's just fun. I mean, that age, and especially those ages, there's every day is a surprise.
Lots of drama.
So do you have big plans, family vacations coming up?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're taking the kids to Galveston.
Oh yeah,
which they're actually really excited about. We have a friend that has a really nice house in Galveston, and we're going to go down there with them. And then Alan and I are going to Mexico. I know nobody ever goes to Mexico, but we love it there. We found a resort there last year called Valentin Imperial. Okay, it's about an hour south of Cancun Airport, and we love it. It's all inclusive. Nice. It's our travel agent last year said her chef friends, her foodie friends love to go to this hotel because the food's so great. So we just park it on the sand and have them bring us drinks and food for a week.
That's the best.
It's awesome, right?
I love that.
So those are our big plans. Oh, and with work, I'm really lucky. Our show works with the Florida Tourism Board.
Okay.
And so for work, I have to go to Key Largo for a week.
Oh, no.
But I've never been. I'm really excited.
That will be a fun.
So, yeah, we're going to go down there in just at the end of June. We're going to go for a week. And we'll be doing the show from there.
Oh, good.
And hopefully people will listen and want to go vacation in Florida because of us.
Yes, definitely. I love Florida. We go up to the Panhandle every year. We're 30A, very popular in our area. We spend a week at Rosemary, and we've kind of gotten.
My sister-in-law goes there every year, Rosemary. Yeah,
it's a neat community, and since we go every week, we have the same. We've met people from all over the country that go the same time.
Same time next year.
Yep. And so we play tennis with them, and we'll be like, okay, see you next year.
I love that.
So it's very fun, and it's just fun to with the kids. As they've gotten older, they have a little bit more freedom, and it's to do things that they want to do when they're there, and we're not all on top of each other. So it's fun. It's very fun. Well, let's talk about, so you and your husband do a podcast.
We do.
And so let's talk about your podcast.
Let's. You've got a much nicer setup than we have. It's a sandwich and some lovin'. And because I've always explained it, I try to do it as cleanly as possible, that women are very complicated. We want to discuss feelings. We need closure. Men just want food and, you know what. So we can't call it that. So we call it a sandwich and some lovin'. And, we started off just kind of like something fun to do. Our boss was like, y'all need to do a podcast. We think you'd enjoy it. So we started off kind of as a hobby, and then it became a thing. So, we just kind of set up in his home office, but now I'm inspired to do a little bit more with our set than what we have going on. So,
Well, very fun. And so viewers can tune in to see you on your podcast. And when does it air?
Well, a new episode is released every Monday and Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Central.
Okay.
And we also record it on our YouTube channel a lot. We're trying to get that started. We're trying to diversify a little bit.
Well, YouTube is, we're all the younger.
Right, that's what they tell me.
Oh, I mean, everyone has a YouTube channel. My nephews that are 11, he was showing me his YouTube channel. Now, granted, he was, I think there's a lot of videos of him, like, doing little race cars and stuff. But he's got his YouTube channel.
Yeah, every kid wants one. My daughter's been begging for one, and I'm like, I don't know. But we have one.
Yes.
We're starting to figure that out.
I mean, from back in the day of black and white TV to now YouTube.
It's crazy how quickly it's all changed.
I know. Well, it's been so much fun. I have had so much fun talking with you, and getting the little insights of Kellie Rasberry.
Well, thank you. I thought you were going to ask me about my house.
Well,
were we going to talk about Plano real estate?
We can talk about Plano real estate.
Because that was like a big deal for us.
Oh, well, why did you choose Plano?
Yeah, because I wanted to be in a good school district. I mean, I'll be honest. That's why people move to Plano, isn't it?
It is. Well, I was raised in Plano, so I will say I have a little side to loving it.
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk about that, so I will just brag on Plano. We love it. I moved up there when I was single, just me and Emma Kelly, but I bought a house thinking I'm going to probably get married. He's probably going to have kids. So I bought a house I thought would be big enough to accommodate the man of my dreams. I didn't know that he was going to have 3 kids. So we had 4 kids sharing one bathroom, and that wasn't going to work. But we loved West Plano so much, so we bought a house about a mile away. So
because you love the area.
We love the area, and I promised my daughter we'd try to stay in her same school district so she could keep her friends.
Oh.
And so we just moved on the other side of a tollway.
Oh, there you go.
And the girls have their own bathrooms, thank God. The boys share, they don't care.
They don't care.
And we walked in, and the first thing you could see through the window was the pool in the backyard. My husband was like, done. So we love it there. But we're in West Plano. We hang out a lot at Legacy West now.
Legacy West is right down the road.
You have to remember the other side of the tollway, there's still the shops at Legacy. There's still some great stuff happening over there. We just went there for dinner last night. We're like, why don't we go back on the east side and check it out?
Well, in Plano's, we've grown so big, so we have, everything at West Plano, and now, I mean, Collin Creek is going to, they're going to change that.
What are they doing out there? You got the scoop.
So they are going to, they're going to do a whole like Legacy West living, retail. They'll do housing, that kind of a complex, which is exciting to see. Yes, it is bitter. I remember working at Collin Creek in high school, but it'll give so much more life to that area of town. And with State Farm there at that corridor, and there's a lot of other businesses, and you've got all these towns. You've got Murphy and Wiley and all that are right down 190. That's a great location for them to go to, because Allen's a little far for them to go, and of course they've boomed up there. What happened was, when that area was just kind of depressing a little bit, all those retail places, restaurants and stuff moved up to Allen, so it kind of just was no life.
It was sad.
It was sad. Now we're gonna see a whole new life.
When is it supposed to be done? Because Valley View. When is? I mean, they've been talking about that for 2 decades now.
And, they're on the track. Yeah, and they were starting to demolition the whole mall area. Whereas Valley View, there's been some different politics that have gone on in that realm. I think now they're on track.
It took a while.
Yeah, it took a long while, but like I said, there was some politics in there, I heard from other sources.
Yeah. Well, you know more than I know. I thought that you'd have the scoop on that.
So yeah, no, it's but it'll be fun to see, and it'll be a great thing for our community to see that whole east side. Just, they've done a lot to the downtown, but now seeing what they'll do to that little bit, we still kind of say east side, but
I'm excited.
Area. So,
well, thanks. I made you not stop your podcast.
I'm so glad.
Because I want to get all that in. I want to get the scoop.
We got more scooping.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Sure.
And cheers to us.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Thanks for tuning in to Community Cocktails with Kimberly. If you'd like to contact Kimberly with your real estate needs, you can reach her at kimberlywoodard.ebby.com. Hope you enjoyed our guests this week. Tune in every first and third Wednesday of the month for insights from industry leaders in your DFW area. Remember, don't just love your home, love your community.